Perry Bean, where are we today?
We're at your house.
That's right. That's right. We're at my house and we were doing a first look at the amp by Milkman. What we have here is a tiny 50-watt amp that is driven by a 12AX7. There's a 12AX7 in there giving you all that rich tubey goodness. And the rest of it is just a tiny little amp that could work either as a traditional amp, as I'm using it right now, running into this valve train cab, or you could use it as kind of a ampish type pedal in your board, or you can use it as a direct recording device. Now this is not like a modeling thing or anything like this. This is an amp. In fact, it is the amp. And, well, let me just take a look at what we got here. Okay, up front, we've got volume, treble, and bass. So 2-band EQ. Right here we have a lush reverb, and then a tremolo that you can turn on and off right there. Master volume. So it's a really simple amp, but it's a great sounding amp. So here we are. This is my 54 Les Paul, and I'm just straight in. Let me bring it down a little bit and just give you a little bit of this reverb. Just great, man. And then that verb gets real wet. I love that when you really goose that verb, how verby it is. It sounds kind of like my old vibro verb that has just these 55-year-old springs just washing around. Yeah, it's like you get that beautiful kind of slop in the mix that I love. The tremolo, equally lush. Right? Just a great trem. Now, when you get into jack up that volume, in fact, hell, let's just dime this pig. Dig this.
Oh, it does break up a little bit.
Right? Yeah, that's just a very convincing, and these are P90s. In fact, in the spirit of that, let's try a different guitar. So there's P90s. Let's go with this Telecaster a little bit. See a little telly snarl with this thing.
Old Hahn Telly with a bender.
Yeah, the old Hahn Telly with a bender. So, man, that's a killer tone, right?
Roll tone.
Just straight up, gnarly, you know, love that. Now, here's the other cool features. So on the back of this thing, I don't know if you can see, but there is a direct out, and it has a ground lift and a cab simulation. So will it jack you up? I'm just going to unplug this 57 right quick. Might hear a little pop, I don't know. And then bring it in there. Now we're in cab simulation. Let's see how close we are. Whoops. Got to plug it in. Pretty cool, right? I mean, I think so. I can't really hear the camera. You're hearing the direct, because we're in that line directly in the camera, so hopefully you're hearing that amp simulation, cab simulation. But when I listened earlier, it sounded convincingly close.
Yeah.
So the great thing about this, you could have it in your studio, just lying on your desk next to your portable, next to your studio rig. Run that line out, you've got a very convincing amp, actually a tube-driven amp going direct, that'd be awesome. Or you could have it on your board for your live rig, have your amp. In fact, why don't we should we run some pedals into it and see what it does with that? Why not, right? Why not? So I've got this big dumb pedal board here. Let's see what that does. Ooh, that sounds loud already. So I'm going to crank this thing down a little bit, turn off the verb, just give us a little something like that, and see what we get. Okay, and I'll run my pedal board into it. So yeah, that's the other option. You could have it on your board and have it at the end of the chain, running pedals like that. Here we are, and now we're... Although, I mean, I think it sounds great. Although I'm kind of reminded of that rig rundown we did with Waddy Wachtel. He's not a pedal guy. And Waddy was talking about being in a session with somebody else who had all these pedals. He's like, yeah, sounds like shit. Talking about their rig. I kind of like the sound of this thing. I mean, I love pedals. Don't take them away from me. But Abe being in the room, man, I do feel like I'm kind of losing something in that, right?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it just sounded so present going.
Throw that 57 back on and let's just go right back into it.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds so good.
Good idea. Yeah, let's go back to that. Good idea, Perry. Thank you.
Handy tool for fly dates.
Oh man, right? I mean that way, okay, like fly dates, you never, when you're doing backline gear, you never know what you're getting. This way, you could literally just have a 412 waiting for you. And this thing is 50 watts. I think at 16 ohms, it breaks it down to 25 watts, which is what we're running right now. This valve train cab has 2 Weber speakers in it. And let me give you some good old humbuckers, see what that does. But yeah, running, so right now we're 25 watts, but 50 watts through a 412, man, there's nothing you couldn't do with that. So fly day, you could show up and just have that thing, have your sound into whatever cab you happen to backline.
Or you got a week in Europe, you're saving tons of money on cartage.
Right, and what I forgot to tell you, apparently the power on this thing for that very thing, Perry, get out of my mind, you're reading it, is, you are reading my mail, man. Because apparently you can plug into the European powers at 220. Yeah, so you can jump between continents without any kind of power adapter, just go straight in and it will accommodate that, which is amazing. I don't even know how they do that.
That would fit in your carry-on.
Totally, man. I mean, you could have that. Whoops. Looks like we're out of time, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's hear it with those buckers. Before
Yeah, let's hear this. Yeah, let's hear this thing. So, you know, let me give you, I'm going to turn off all these pedals and just give you straight in. Let me goose up this treble a little bit, give us a little more volume there. Man, you hear that verb? It really sounds springy. That's a great tone too. Right? I mean, so that's just the amp right there. No pedals, no nonsense. And it sounds amazing. I love this thing. There's also a ground switch on the back. There's a headphone thing in front for practicing. I love it, and it's like 650 bucks. I think you can buy it beginning in August. It's not out yet, but this is a first look. That's what we do. We look at stuff before it's out. So, hey, check it out. There'll be more information coming out. You can read about it online in a little while. But right now, this is our first look. Thanks for tuning in.